kitchen with Dinah. Someone's in the kitchen, I know. Someone's in the kitchen with Dinah.
Hey groupers, Pastor Marshall. I hope that you are ready to dig into another story in Genesis, the story of Dinah. Well, I want to get you talking, and so to get you talking, let's all tell a funny story of our own personal cultural experience. It'll be memorable, it'll probably help people laugh, it'll get you talking to one another, it'll also help you to grow closer together. I talked about my 11-year-old trip to the Yucatan and drinking ex-Benton, which I don't even know if that's how you say it. Well, what about you? Just tell some stories about some cultural experiences that you have had. Icebreaker number 1. Icebreaker number 2, talk about your dating custom. Did you have one? Did your parents have rules? When I was growing up, my sister was not allowed to date until she was 16. That was the rule. It was just the rule. She went out with friends and things like that before, but as far as mano y mano, not till she was 16. I don't really remember there being a rule for me. Maybe it was a double standard because I was a guy. I didn't really date until I was almost 16, so maybe it worked out okay. That became the rule for our girls, of sort of kind of like, if it worked for my family, it's going to work for my kids. Well, what about you? Did you have rules that were on you about dating? Did you have customs about no dating? Did you kiss dating goodbye, like Elizabeth Elliot writes about? What are your convictions about dating and with your kids and all of that? That'll certainly be a discussion that hopefully will not allow you to get divided. Well, after you've talked about those things, now let's have a good old-fashioned debate. Now that you've come together and you're feeling some unity and you're feeling some community and you're feeling one with another, now let's just have a big conflict. I suggested that Shechem and Dinah didn't have, that this wasn't a rape experience. Shechem didn't rape Dinah. I suggested to you rather that they attempted to force a forbidden relationship, a forbidden marriage, by consummating their relationship before marriage. That's what I talked about this last weekend. Here's what I want you to do. First, I want you to make a list. Who in this story, not in your small group, who in this story is behaving like this is a rape? Make a list of those people. Second, who in this story, not in your small group room, is behaving like this isn't a rape? Just read through the story and make a list. Who is acting like this is a rape? Who is acting like this is not a rape? And then I want you to discuss. Again, don't share your own convictions about whether this is a rape or not. I want you to discuss what's the most convincing person's behavior in the story. Is there one person's behavior who is the most convincing that leads you to believe this is a rape or this isn't a rape? Then, what is it about this story, not the people, but what is it about this story that looks like rape? Make a list. What does it look like rape? What is it about this story that does not look like rape? Make a list. Is there a detail, not a person, is there a detail in the story that screams rape, or is there a detail in the story that doesn't? And then after you've done all of that, just accumulating evidence, then I want you to share, what do you think? Do you think that this is two people that are in love that are forcing an illegal marriage to be legal by consummating before, like I taught on this last weekend? Or do you think that this is a rape? Well, that'll be a fun conversation. Next, have you ever known anyone to use sex as a tool to meet an end? Because that's what I suggest that Shechem and Dinah are doing. My mom used to always say to my sister and I that one of us was a skipped pill on her part, and the other one of us was a tampered with condom. I know your preacher's not supposed to talk like that, but I knew growing up that this was a possibility for abuse. I wonder if you know of any stories like that. Yes, my mother will probably kill me if she finds out that I told you that. While we're on the subject of sex, let's talk for a second about sexual immorality. Your group leaders all just went, what? Oh, great, let's do that. First, I want you to come to a consensus about what does the Bible say that sexual immorality is. What is sexual immorality according to the Bible? Second, is sexual immorality an unforgivable sin? Make sure that we answer that question. Third, what does the Bible say about sexual immorality? Meaning, what kind of sin is it? Is it different than all other kinds of sins, or does the Bible say that it's exactly the same? Then, what does that mean, what the Bible says about sexual immorality? And then finally, I'd like you to talk about, candidly, why do you think that the Bible makes such a big fuss over the subject of sexual immorality? Last, in America today, who are the folks that this issue is most important to? Is this just a teenage issue? Or is this issue a big deal among different groups of people? I think it would be interesting to talk about that. I wish I was a small group leader to be involved in that conversation. Well, last question. What does this story tell us about at least two of Jacob's sons and their character? What does it tell us about the character of Jacob's boys? And does this surprise you based on what you know about Jacob's character, about Leah's character, Rachel's character, Zilpah's character, Bilhah's character? Does this surprise you? Well, every week I challenge you to share what you like and to share what you don't like. I want you to do that again. What do I like in this story? Well, I suppose that I like the idea of Dinah's brothers being interested in defending her honor. Now, mind you, I don't think that that's actually what happened. I think that they wanted to conquer a nation and commit genocide and steal all of their women and children and their stuff. That's what I think was their motivation. But if I'm wrong, if this was a rape and if they were defending their sister's honor, then I like that. What do I not like? More tricks. Jacob is a trickster. Laban is a trickster. Leah is a trickster. Dinah is a trickster. Leah and Jacob's sons are tricksters. I'm so tired of this family system that keeps repeating itself. What do you not like? And then a quick reminder about application that we made on Sunday. First, I challenged all of us to step into sexual purity. If it's not something that is a part of your life, I challenge you to make it a part of your life. But maybe that doesn't apply to many of you who are married or past that season of your life. And so then I also challenged us to be proactive, to step into helping defend women in our culture from sexual abuse. Well, I hope that you have a great group, and I will see you next week for the very last message in the book of Genesis. God bless.